Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm here on the Scoop Studio at Prod17 2017, and I'm joined by Harold from Koyoung, Miles from Kick, and Michael from Aegis to talk about artificial intelligence and its role in smart factory. I'm just going to go along the line initially and kind of explore where we think we've got to in terms of supplying data and supplying information for the line and utilizing that well.
I think it's a key for the future because in the past we grabbed only the defect information and tried to analyze the process after it's happened. Today we can grab the data from the process, and visualizing the process is part of the fundamental basics you need to run artificial intelligence and to make it automated.
Yeah, and then it comes down to the quality of the data that is provided, and that's essential.
Of course, that's essential. If it's assumption, it doesn't help you. It has to be precise data, and that's the trend in the moment. The 3D, the precise measurement, and the 100% coverage, that you get everything, not just randomly some good effects, powerful data. Yeah. That's the key.
And Miles, from your point of view, you're collecting data on the reflow process, but you're also looking at how you can provide data and use data elsewhere.
Yeah, I think we've done some artificial intelligence, so to speak, with some of our predictive models for NPI and also our real-time production profile. So we want to leverage that kind of machine level intelligence with other machines, because you kind of look at the manufacturing floor or the whole enterprise as a kind of a never-ending story, right? And you're trying to participate, you're part of the story, but you can't really do that unless you know what the other characters are doing. So the more information we have around us of what's happening, we can make better decisions on what's happening in our process.
Yeah, and Michael, when you take that up to the MES level, you're orchestrating all that different data that's coming in from different directions. Are you finding that there are more and more people providing and utilizing the data that you're able to manage?
Yeah, it's becoming quite an interesting scenario. You know, a lot of the machines these days have a built-in intelligence, built-in sensors, they're modeling things in 3D now. And as we were saying earlier, you know, it's understanding the small differences between products that are made that can lead to an understanding of defects, lead to an understanding of how to optimize processes. And so people, actually being pushed by principles like Smart Factory and Industry 4.0, they are eager to provide data. The one thing about the data is, unfortunately, that there are so many different kinds of data and so many different formats, and people mean different things. How are you supposed to put two random machines together that a customer selected as being a best practice and now suddenly making them work? And so with initiatives like the IPC CFX, we want to make that happen so that you can plug and play any piece of equipment with any other piece of equipment, and the data will simply flow and pick up all of the nuances, all of the opportunity for that value.
Yeah. And you know, we talked about 100% data, and Michael briefly touched on the standards issue. I don't want to make the debate about standards, but I just want to touch on it. CFX was mentioned, Hermes standard is being launched today. From a point of view of you guys with domain expertise, do you worry about standards, or whatever standards there, you'll work with those?
Look, we are suffering from the standards over the years, so there is no real one standard. We have, as the vendor, we have to adapt the different standards. We have different standards in Asia, different policies, methodologies. It would be very nice if there would be one, but yes, we have to deal with the standards, and we have to adapt the different needs and the different understanding. There are different layers, because dealing with the data does not mean that the data are in our interest is the same data, but the extract, the conclusion of the data, that's important to share. And I think this is that's in the moment harmonizing. It's communication start. Last 20 years, everybody does his own business. Now it's getting together. Machine communication, vendor communication. That's the goal for the future. No partnership, no future.
Okay. That's an interesting line, no partnership, no future. You're involved in just about every standards committee there is, and involved in that. Just briefly, how do you see that process, and are we getting to the point where we're going to have some standards and we're going to be able to get on and use them?
Yeah, I think it's moving towards a point where there will be some solid standards to go by. I think more than any time in the past. There will always be holes that still need to be filled, but I think the customers are driving us that way. to use those standards. And I think it's the nuances, like Harold was saying, you have different things, and if you don't have partners, you're not going to be able to move to the next level, because it's those smaller things that happen on each process that if you don't know about something that happened before you, then you can't make the right adjustment. Then you're actually not being intelligent anymore. Where it used to be, I could just be intelligent on my own and do my own thing. That doesn't play anymore.
So Michael, when you look at that from a holistic point of view, this is all about delivering value. It's not going to work if it doesn't deliver value. And we've kind of been sold this industry 4.0 nirvana where machines learn and lines learn and they do new things. Is that something that we're realistically seeing reach a tipping point now? Are we starting to actually get tangible, measurable, deliverable benefits?
Yes, it is. And you know, the key thing about a standard is how it's going to sustain itself. If it's simply gathering the data from a machine and making a pretty dashboard, okay, what's in it for the machine vendor? I mean, you guys just have to support the data of how many different customers. It's a nightmare. But when we start passing data back to machine